Welcome back to the program. The Boston Bruins were in town this week, and the event went off without a hitch. A lot of stuff was happening during that time, and it was very exciting to be.
You went to the game?
Yeah, I was at the game,
Okay.
and
I was at the dinner.
Okay.
yeah. So you have two perspectives here.
Yes, and I was in Lake George.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Game, I have to tell you, first and foremost, the Kahnawake players, they went out there and they wanted to win. I mean, this wasn't like, just playing like an old timers game. This was.
It wasn't a pickup game.
That's right. It was
It was like aggressive.
Yeah, very, very competitive. You can tell, and some really great Kahnawake were playing on the Kahnawake team. So that was fantastic.
Like who were some of their rosters for some of the people that weren't?
Chief Carl Horn was on there. Chief John D. Delormier come to mind. I mean, there were just so many.
Any of the older players, like older men on playing, or were they all young?
Oh, I have to say that Wes Deere, well, he's my age anyway, but he was probably the quote unquote elder statesman who was playing on the team, coached by his father, Wally Deere, and I have to tell you, they were fantastic. And a couple highlights certainly was Nicky Albany playing for the Boston Bruins.
Oh, he did?
Yes, he did, yeah. And I have to tell you, he had some highlight goals. Absolutely amazing skater. He was out there, and he fit right into the Boston Bruins squad. So that was really cool.
Wow. So how much money was raised? Do we have, and like, what was there? Was the house packed, or do we have any of those details?
From what I understand, there was over $130,000 raised the entire day, and $5,000 of which went to the United Church.
That's right.
And the remainder to be split between both the Academy Memorial Foundation and K103 Building Fund.
Though, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
okay. So hopefully we can get a clip from Brian on this and get a quick update.
Overall, we raised $130,033. I think the attendance hovered in the 2,400 area, 2,400 people at the game. Well, I think it was a huge success. The participation of the community, the participation of my beneficiaries, radio station, the K103 and the Academy Memorial Hospital Foundation was phenomenal. Everything was great. We had nothing negative to report. Everyone congratulated us, and it was a top-notch affair. And I'm just so happy that the monies that we have now, are in town. And it was 1 year to the day exact that we had last year's event. And if you put the two of them together, myself, with the help of the Boston Bruins, have contributed over almost $250,000, which is $250,000 that the four beneficiaries didn't have prior to this. So I think it speaks volumes in the humanitarian efforts of the Boston Bruins, because they didn't have to do this, and they didn't have to come here, and they did to help us. So there's a lot of hats off I would like to do to people. Mainly would be the Boston Bruins, and to the general community as a whole. I can't thank them enough for the amount of support they gave us.
Because last year's event was a huge success, and this year's event, people weren't sure, especially with the downturn in the economy and different things like that. But it still managed to raise that much more, and it was just a lot of fun.
It certainly was.
It was a lot of fun. There was the auction going on. It was very well run.
Yeah.
Very, very well run, well organized. And I just want to congratulate both Brian and Michelle Goodleaf and their son Zach, who did the majority of the, and there was tons of volunteers as well.
Yeah.
So everybody did a really bang up job, and it was a very nice feeling, and food was good.
I heard that. Another, just very quickly, another highlight certainly was Stan Jonathan, who last year, after he played the alumni game, suffered a heart attack. He recovered a couple days before the actual game. His doctors gave him the okay to skate. He skated. Of course, he met Bouchard, former Montreal Canadian, very famous fight. But the other thing that was cool is when Jonathan scored. That really brought the house down. I mean, whether you're a Boston fan or a Kahnawake fan or whatever, I mean, across the board, him being First Nations, being Mohawk, when he scored the goal, put his arms up in there, it was very memorable, for sure.
So moving on, Halloween is coming up this weekend, as we know. Some of the things that we can talk about first of all, is that Halloween safety. I mean, that's always an issue. Yes. Apparently this year, weather-wise, they're calling for it to be warm but wet.
Wet, yeah.
Warm but wet. So you want to make sure that your child's costume is not something that they're going to have to be dragging around. Yeah. So, and, also, a lot of people suggest that you don't actually use a mask, that you use makeup instead.
Right.
And maybe this year they try to incorporate a hat and a jacket or something, or at least some kind of rain cover, because it is apparently going to be a wet one.
Yeah. And they also talk about how to wear your costume with something maybe reflective on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Carry a flashlight. And also what's really big is when the candy gets home, you have to do a check and a recheck of everything in case somebody might have tampered with something, because it is just realistic in this day and age that's a must.
Yeah, of course. So, and when you're talking about driving the kids around, there's going to be a lot of kids who are going to be jumping back and forth from street to, from one side of the street to other, which is not recommended. So parents, please remind your children to stay on one side of the street. People who are driving that night, please be mindful that there's going to be a lot of kids who are going to be out there. We have to be mindful of them.
Their unpredictability.
Yeah. So happy trick-or-treating to all of our viewers. And also, if you want to give your kids a real treat this week, the Kahnawake Youth Center is holding their annual haunted house on Friday. And it's starting when, Christine?
As far as I know, it's going to be going in the afternoon for the schools that are going to come by. And then in the evening, we're going to have another session for everybody else.
Yeah, the other thing I want to mention too is near the, and I want to make sure I got this right, but near the creek, not too far away from the old laundromat, I think that's the Protestant cemetery.
Yes, yeah.
That's right.
As you're coming down that little hill.
There's going to be a haunted forest. They've been doing this for the past 3 or 4 years.
I was wondering where that was, because I saw the little map and I was like, where is this? Okay, so it's down that way.
That's down that way. That's James Day and his family. And I got to tell you, it's a free event. You can go there, and he really wants to scare them.
And when is that, on Friday also?
That's on Halloween. That's directly on Halloween.
Wow.
And he definitely
them.
wants to scare you immensely. So go check that
out. That's always a lot of fun anyway. So have a lot of fun. Be safe and enjoy getting scared.
I love Halloween. It's great time.
It's always fun. All right, so that's it for another episode of Sawana Aorihwa. We hope you enjoy the program.
And we'd like to thank everyone who worked on the production, and Nyamagoa to everyone for tuning in. So Nyamagoa, Danu Ona.
Ona.
Ona.